trying to get a connection. And look over here and sit down. See my flowers? See, I put them all in containers. Well, isn't that nice? And I have these other ones hanging down in the trees. Let's go in the screen tent here. See, and now if I'm in front of that window, I should get a pretty good reception here. There we go. Well, it's nice to see you. Let's have a little prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for helping us to connect. Thank you for the people out there that like me and that I like. Thank you for blessing us that we can spend a little time together again. And thank you for blessing us with so much rain. And please watch over those who are in danger or disaster or anything like that. I haven't watched the news for days. And these things we pray in the name of Jesus. Amen. Oops, the low power mode came on. Or whatever it's called. Oh, so I was sick a couple. I thought I had Lyme disease or something. I was exhausted all the time. Anyway, I'm back to myself again. I did not have Lyme disease or any other thing, I guess. Anyway, but so Daniel, who has been living in Vietnam for the last 7 years, has come over here. He left his girlfriend there. He's gonna get a job in North America because it's 12 hours difference in Vietnam. So it was pretty hard to work for dollars over there or Canadian dollars. He was working for Vietnamese dollars or whatever they're called. Anyway, if that's true. So he's going to get a job. He's been applying and then he's staying with us for the summer and then he's going to sponsor his girlfriend across. And I hope they're going to live out here. He really loves the greenery. He's tired of Ho Chi Minh City and all the smog. But he loves Bali. He loves surfing and all these things that he's been doing over there. He and his girlfriend, she's awesome. She gets him doing everything. In Vietnam, they have tours. You can just look it up and sign up for a local bicycle riding tour or hiking or kayaking or rock climbing or scuba diving or anything. Anyway, and so she's been doing that for years. I guess she went to Thailand to learn to cook years ago, some time ago, I guess. Anyway, I just think that's so cool. So now, you remember Mary died last autumn or winter. I guess she died in the winter. Anyway, it was pretty crappy fall and winter, you know. But and so I had lost, like, she and I talked all the time. And so suddenly I was alone. I had nobody to talk to. And it was very different. And I didn't know what I was going to do with the rest of my life. What was I going to, I'm 67. Am I about to die too? And, my back was so bad. I had so much pain. Well, I stopped doing all this stuff I was doing. And so now I don't have any pain, except a little bit. I did something I shouldn't have done today. But for the most part, Daniel is back. And he's living here, which is awesome. And he loves to play Minecraft with me. And so we play Minecraft together. And the first day he came, he wanted to plant a garden. And he planted all carrots, rows and rows of carrots. But first he had to create the garden bed from this mound out there by the driveway. So he and Scarlett leveled it off and he planted all his carrots in there. Goes out and waters them every day. And I go out, and our garden is really growing. The potato plants are over a foot tall. I put piles of soil all over Wildflower Hill, the hillside that's, up by the side of it's a very steep hill. Yeah, it's like that. So, and it's all made of sand, and it's covered with scant grass, not much. And a few flowers that I put in, which never really grew because I mean, they're very small and stunted. There's a few that work well. Gaillardia works well up there because it's so dry. But anyway, so Daniel and Willem put piles of this manure, which is actually more like the bottom of the pile, so it's like very fertile soil. And so you put piles on the hill, and I planted squash in there, and I planted corn. Imagine corn. Now, corn, you know, you need a big group of it for it to pollinate properly and get as tall as it's supposed to be. But whatever. So this is popcorn. Just had popcorn in the house. I thought, you know what? So I planted beans. Each hill gets a bean, and 2 or 3 squashes, and maybe 4 corn. The hills. Oh, sorry. The hills are probably about, I don't know, big arm round. You know, as big around as your arms, as you can hold. That big around. Anyway, and they're up. Some of the corn are about that high, and the leaves are, some of the leaves are big, but most of them are just coming up. But no, the beans aren't up yet. Done that. And we also put a big pile of soil on the ground, and I planted squash in it down at the valley where you go out of the circle of garden beds and then walk toward the fence. And Willem I've been going back and forth for loads of manure, and Willem has been putting it on, filling all the beds. So the last bed, the potatoes, I already put potatoes in, even though it didn't have enough soil in it. But the potatoes now are all growing, so anyway, I think he filled it up. I hope that the potatoes can get through. I don't know if they can or not. They might. You know what? I think I planted potatoes, and they were all about 6 inches high. And then I filled the whole bed with about 8 or 10 inches of soil. So they're all covered up. So I wonder if they'll still come through, because I planted other things on top because I had this empty bed and I didn't know if they'd come through. So there's now tomatoes in there. Oh well. And the peas are doing well. Everything's doing well. And this year I'm taking, when the tomato plants grow, like we're in Canada, so you get a very short growing season. And usually if you let a tomato plant, leave it alone, it'll grow suckers. So you got the main stem and a leaf. And so the main stem and a leaf, and then becomes a sucker growing in between them. And you break them off. And you can root them if you want, put them in water. But if you leave them on the plant is going to make one at every intersection, and you're going to have this enormous sprawling plant. And by the time they're going to produce 1 million tomatoes, it's already autumn. It's too late. You're dealing with, going to have to bring in green tomatoes and let them ripen in the house. I know, that's what we do here. Some people wrap them up in paper, newspaper, and then they ripen in the house. I remember having the living room floor on our farm. I remember having tomatoes spread out everywhere. All these, bushels of tomatoes that needed to ripen. All on the floor in the living room or something. That was when we were farming, and it was my first marriage. I was a pig farmer. So Desmond got a hold of my phone because I was letting him make videos, and so he created a channel. Well, he took over one of my channels. He took over this channel, and he called it, "Oh, hi, Tyler. Yes, I'm alive. Ta-da!" Oh. Anyway, so he took my camera, my phone, and he figured out how to change my YouTube name instead of Nancy Today to Desmond Gaming. And I couldn't change it back. So what I did, I was able to somehow switch it to the other account. So it's Teepee Woman. It used to be Teepee Woman, but I think he's called that Desmond Gaming. And I haven't gotten any comments from anything I've videoed lately, any of these little short videos. So I'm wondering if they're over there at Desmond Gaming, which is actually my channel, which he renamed. There's about 250 videos over there. That's from years ago when I was Teepee Woman. I don't know why I did 2 channels. Anyway, so that's what that's about. So maybe if you go over there, there might be a video over there that I made. I don't know. I'll have to check it out. Anyway, so that's the update. And I have terrible cell service. I try and connect outside because I don't want to be making live videos around the children. And I don't want to make live videos around each other. But you know, I did video Abraham's piano playing, and Willem wrote this 20-minute long piece. It's a classical piano piece, and it's called Variations on a Theme by Robert Burns. And so he starts with this little Robert Burns bit, but my camera wouldn't turn on, so I missed that first part. And so it starts with each of the variations, and I tried to hold up fingers when it was, but then around 8 or 9 or something, I got confused, or 11, I don't know where I was, so the numbering might be wrong. But anyway, and so those are his variations, and now it's online. And so that copyrights it right there. Can't make little squeaky sounds. This is our tent, our outdoor setting. Of course, I didn't clean it. I've been playing Minecraft. Yes, indeed. Daniel loves playing it. Oh, what we've done. So we made this infinite lava, so you can keep going back and collecting lava and putting it in the cupboard and then using it for cooking, whatever you have to do in the game. And he's been making these. Oh, he found out that llamas can hold chests. So then he's been breeding llamas so that the llamas can hold, the ones that hold the most items, he puts a blue carpet on. And the other ones that are almost as good, he puts a red carpet on, and then he breeds them to try and get more slots. I think he got one with 15 slots in the chest. Some have like 3 or 6 or 9 or 12. I think he got 15. Or maybe it was 12. Anyway. So what did you say? Suze. Hi. So I got a glimpse. Ryan Hall, y'all, was saying something about bad weather. And I didn't really get it, but I did see that there was this big circle and then storms on the outside. I don't really know what it was about. We've lost our clicker, the remote control. We've always called it the clicker. From when we first started having one, when televisions no longer, you didn't have to go ka-chunk, 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 and you had 12 channels. Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Do you have a television like that when you were young? Anyway, so once we got a color TV, oh my gosh, color TV. I mean, other people had color TV. I mean, it was out there, but that was really expensive. But then we got color TV, but it didn't matter, you know, because we could go to the movies and they were in Technicolor. Yep, you could go to the movies for 10 cents. You go up the hill to the shopping center and go to the movies. Well, usually it was 25 cents, but 10 cents was on Saturday morning matinee. And we were kids, so away we went. I mean, what else were we going to do? Watch cartoons on Saturday morning? Now we don't have cartoons, we have influencers. These really idiotic people that scream all the time, and there's no out. I remember that. I watched Family Affair on the neighbor's color TV and was blown away. I remember Family Affair, but I don't remember what it was about. My favorite, my 3 sons, Dick Van Dyke, Leave It to Beaver, and Dennis. Those were really good. And as I grew, I guess I liked Mary Tyler Moore Show, but never as much as I liked the Dick Van Dyke Show. I liked her as a nice, sweet housewife. You know, she became an independent businesswoman. And, I mean, that's what happens in the world. This is people's choices. But I really preferred her as a sweet wife, and she was getting in trouble all the time. Oh, and you remember what's that other one? With Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball. What was that? I Love Lucy. Oh yes. And she would come up with these things. I mean, like she would like to do things like climb trees. But he was a Desi Arnaz. Is that what she called him? He might have gone by his own name in the show. And he was all my favorites, plus Andy Griffith. Yes, Andy Griffith, he was pretty good, but I got kind of tired with him. I didn't like that sheriff, that bumbling guy so much. And then they came out with a Love Boat, and that was so risque. Oh my goodness. I love watching shows that don't have any sex in Ricky Ricardo. No sex, no swearing. Once Upon a Time, there's no sex, no swearing. It's on the Disney Channel. I like that. And also, um, Castle. Love American Style. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was pretty risque too. Of course, I was a teenager, so I liked them. And was Nancy Sinatra in something other than these boots are made for walking? And that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk. Hey, you know what the words of the I guess I won't say it. Oh well. But then what do I say? Because if you stop yourself in the middle of not saying something that you shouldn't say, you need something else to say, otherwise there's just a dead spot in the conversation. So Daniel calls his girlfriend and she calls here every morning and evening. So they see each other at the ends of the day because it's 12 hours difference, right? You had white go-go boots in first grade? Oh my gosh. Be still my heart. I had saddle shoes. Yes, saddle Oxfords. They are good for you, Nancy. Well, in my mother's day, they were all wearing white socks with them, right? In the 20s. She wasn't born till 27, though, so that's kind of not right. But anyway, they wore bobby socks and saddle Oxfords. Saddle shoes. Oh, and penny loafers. Oh, I loved my penny loafers. What I wouldn't give for a good pair of penny loafers. Mm-mm. They came out with Papa Gallo shoes. I was in about 67. Papa Gallo shoes and John Romaine leather purses. Oh, and they were just all the rage. My mother she was the executive secretary in the physics and astronomy at the University of Georgia. So she would come home and there were all these students at school, right? And so she'd come home and she'd say, "Oh, Nancy, it's all the rage. Everybody's wearing it. Oh, you really should. Here, let No thanks, Mom. Bare feet, holes in my blue jeans with patches on. Um, what were those shirts called? A peasant shirt, and my braids, or just my long hair. Yepper, that was what I wanted to wear. My father would hear me leaving. He'd say, "You better have shoes on, young lady." I had penny loafers too. Put the pennies in. Well, at first we put pennies in, but then you needed to be able to make a phone call. So it was 10 cents. A quarter would never have fit. It's a good thing that we didn't need them. Peasant shirts there too, yeah. Oh my, bell bottoms. I used to sew and I would make all these bell bottoms. And then elephant pants came out. Oh, and you had to make them hip hugger. So you would, like if you got a pair of jeans, you'd get men's jeans and you would sew them so that the crotch was higher so that it would lower them so they were hip huggers. And then those body shirts we used to wear, those long sleeve, tight body shirts, and they would snap underneath at the bottom. Yeah. Well, those are some interesting memories, aren't they? Look at that greenery. I really live in the forest now. And by my own creating, like, not, I mean, Heavenly Father did it, but I planted those trees and they've grown and they're all so thick now and there's birds hopping around in there. It's so cool. Like, I can be right in the forest all around the deck, the whole way around. I just love that. And out here, there's no mosquitoes. You've heard about the malaria, have you? 4 people have gotten malaria from mosquitoes. So a mosquito bites somebody that has malaria, and then the next person it bites, actually it takes for 14 days, everybody it bites gets malaria. So anyway, there are 4 people with malaria in Florida, and 1 person in Texas. Now you can be vaccinated for malaria, but not in Florida or Texas. I went to Target today. Oh, is Target still out there? And saw the huge wide-legged pants and couldn't believe it. The body shirts were rather uncomfortable. Yeah, well, you had to be really skinny, and I wasn't always really skinny. There was a time that I got pretty skinny, and I measured my waist, and it was 27. That was the smallest it ever was. And then it became 52. My waist was 52. I was pregnant and nursing for years. I think my first pregnancy was about 1978. I had 7 miscarriages, but I was pregnant or nursing from then. I think there was a year or 2 off. Yeah, because I nursed. He was 2, I think. And Elida was born when he was 8. So I guess there was 6 years off. I'm glad you're there too. Anyway, and my last one was born in 93. So from 78 to 93. 88, 98. So 93. 23 years, is that right? Or 25 years? Anyway, a long time of being pregnant or nursing. Minus 6 years in there. But during that time, I married Willem, and he had a preschooler at home. So for that much of time, I had preschoolers at home for like a long time, 20 years or 23 years or something. That was a long time. Oh well. Memories, memories, memories. I like memories, and Daniel being home now, he's 30 or something. Or 32, maybe. Anyway, he wants to come to Canada because it's so polluted over there. My goodness, Nancy, you were busy. 2 daughters here, 84 and 86. 84 and 86. Yeah, that was when I was first married, my first marriage. Mine were born in 79 and 80, or 81. And then 89, 90, and 93. Or 89, 91, 93, something like that. But now that he's grown up, he said things like, I always liked your paintings, Mom. I always thought they were great. Oh, and the grandchildren were here the other day, and Daniel's calling me and saying, Mom, hey, Mom, look at this. Mom, okay, time to sleep in the game, What's EDDX? You were married in 1980. What's EDDX, Danielle Keene? I had a friend once in Georgia. Her name was Chi Chi. And then she was actually she was Kathy Eicher. And then she married somebody in Florida and became Catherine Keene, and she's an artist. I don't know what happened to her from the time I was a teenager. I don't know if she's still with him or, he was a drummer, I think, or in a band. Ah, yes, those were the days. Listening to music. It was interesting with the teenagers, music filled the house. And in my case, my kids play the piano, and Willem being the concert pianist, And so when Daniel plays, he plays Moonlight Sonata and all these. He also plays some really mellow things, some really beautiful stuff. He plays the soundtrack to some games. Da 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 da. Hi, Violet. Hi, just me from New Zealand. We in winter here. Yes, indeed. Yes, it's nice to have winter sometimes, especially if it's not too bad. Especially if you're getting a break from something hot. This summer is, none of the seasons are perfect anymore. Do you notice that? Summer's too hot, winter's too cold. Well, winter's not cold enough anymore. Summer's too hot, winter there's, hi there.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Daniel.
Yeah, isn't he in there? Not playing Minecraft?
Maybe he is. Maybe he's asleep or something. I didn't notice.
Oh, I don't know. No, he wouldn't be asleep. He's playing Minecraft.
Probably.
He's very busy. He's creating this huge farm in a basement.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's got them. It's an automatic farm, so they're farming carrots and potatoes, and then he takes them and he trades them with villagers and gets emeralds.
Cool.
That was Abe. Anyway, so we've had a lot of rain. It's rained every day for like 3 or 4 days. It doesn't rain all day, but it rains enough that the ground is definitely all these beds of brand new dry manure. Hi, Susan. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get on. There might be videos on Desmond Gaming. He changed the name of the thing, and it was the one that would open, and I couldn't. And so if I did make a video, nobody was there, and nobody commented. But I released a whole bunch of videos. I have a lot of videos that are marked private because I didn't like them very much, but they weren't bad videos, but they were getting all the hits. And so I took them out of circulation so other things would get hits. So I'll let them loose again. I let some of them loose a few months ago. I know, Susan. So happy to see Nancy. I know you guys don't get a chance to visit with each other when I don't open the portal. Oh my gosh. It's so nice having my boys home. It's just amazing. I have purpose. I've been making meals. Me, cooking. Yes, because otherwise they eat all my food storage. Hi. Well, it's Willem.
I just give Abe his 9 o'clock cigarette.
Okay.
Where do we want to keep them, or do you want me to put them somewhere?
Just take care of them.
Okay.
Thank you. I love you.
Love you too.
Look, it's my Willem. Look.
Or Willem. That's me.
That's
What's on the other side?
what?
Whistles on the other side?
Susan and Violet and Tyler and Suze.
Oh, well, all the folks.
Oh, there's 11 people here now. Oh my goodness. This is like, how's Chumbles? Oh, he's fine. Chumbles is so sweet. Oh, Carla. Hi, I haven't heard from you in years. Oh, Susan says hi, Willem.
Hi, Susan.
Hi and bye. It gets dark so late now. It's like quarter after 8 when the sun sets. Of course, we're at the solstice. We just passed it. So I don't think the days have gotten, like, they're getting shorter, but I don't think they get shorter at both ends of the day. Or they're not getting shorter at the end of it. Like sunset, I don't think is getting earlier. I have to look at that. But I think dawn is getting later by maybe a minute or two. And the countdown begins. I can't stand it when people say that about how terrible the days are getting. I haven't aged a bit. Oh, Carla, thank you. Well, now that I gained my 25 pounds back, you see, all the wrinkles are completely gone. And they've all tanned, and you don't even know. Yeah, it's probably not bad to be overweight. But I've been cooking, and I just cook vegetables. But Daniel wants rice, right? He wants rice and meat. In Vietnam, he had a big slab of meat for $2. So it's a bit of a shock that the prices here doubled. Everything doubled. Even though they say that inflation is only so much percent, everything at the grocery store went up by whatever the profit was that the grocery stores made. How's the situation everywhere else? Are the groceries doubling in price? I can't afford meat. I never buy meat. Except, well, I don't say never because there's usually sausage in the freezer. And if you really want it, there it is. But I don't usually think of it or feel like it. I think I bought chicken a while ago, but I can't find it. Maybe it's in the big freezer. Oh, Mount Everest. Well, now Mount Everest is separate from the hike up to base camp. It's like the foothills. So you have to go up a lot of foothills and then you get to base camp. And then from base camp, then you hike to up Everest. So he got one stop before base camp. He and Anna got bored. They went back down. And it was getting cold. They didn't have enough stuff. You're getting smoked out over there. Wow. Now, how do they rank it there? Like on my app, they'll say like 1 or 2, but in Ottawa yesterday it was 11. And here I think it was 4 yesterday. It's supposed to get smoky tonight. I haven't eaten meat in 30 years. Wow. So you see, but Daniel, he's a bodybuilder, but he doesn't really he just is very strong. He picked up the tongue of the trailer and it was full to the top of manure. And he stood there and he reached down with his 2 arms, and he lifted just beyond the V, He lifted up both sides of the V there. And it was just like lifting weights. He said afterwards, boy, that felt good. I feel good now. I feel strong. Strong kid. Anyway, so he is a meat, not potatoes, meat, rice, and vegetables. And all kinds of amazing stuff. When I was in Jamaica, I lived there for 6 months. And I had to come back every 6 weeks, but I lived with the Rasta up on a mountain, up in the mountains, Cascade. And gee, it just turned my sleep on so I don't get notifications. Well, so I was there for 6 months. And every 6 weeks I'd have to come back. I'd fly across. Oh, look at you, Marie. There she is. I was just thinking about you, Nancy. Oh, well, you're such a darling. I'm so glad to see you again. So I was just saying, so Daniel's back from Vietnam and permanently, I think. He'll probably go back to visit or to, I don't know exactly, but the idea is to sponsor his girlfriend over. And she's wonderful. She's Vietnamese and she's also a computer programmer. And anyway, it's going to be great if they are over here. I hope they live close enough. It's another one of our families, right? We have 5 kids and Willem has 4 more. So there's 9 kids and of them there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be 7 families if Daniel brings his girlfriend over. So Abe and Nick are not married, and neither's Daniel. 3 out of 9, is that right? Elida's single, so that's 4. Elida, Daniel, Abraham, Ben, Virginia, Tish, Aaron, Nick, and Kate. Yeah, anyway, there we go. Look how light it is in the house. We have a moon up there. Can you see it's a moony night tonight? Where did it go? There it is. When the moon shines over the cowshed, I'll be waiting at the kitchen door. Ding. I think I'm going to run out of battery, you know. I should go plug it in, but see if I move, then we'll lose the connection. You can't win. Either way. Bear says hi. Hi, Bear. Hey, Bear, how are you? Chumbles has gotten big. Maya came out and looked at him one day. He says, you know, Chumbles is an adult. He is not a kitten anymore. He is now an adult. That's kind of cool. She's 6. So Daniel is here playing Minecraft. And he's set up in the living room, got a whole desk thing all set up there. And Maya and Desmond were here one day. And Maya goes and sits overlooking Daniel, watching him, and she's sitting on the arm of the couch. He's over on the other side. She's watching his thing, and they're discussing it, and she's telling him, you should get all the things out of that chest, in the game. And meanwhile, Desmond, he's saying everything out loud, what he's doing, Daniel says Desmond wants everybody to know that he knows this game very well, that he's very smart. I like Daniel. I like his way of his philosophy. He's been doing a lot of, he's up in Nepal are all these monks all over the place, right? This is the anyway. So he's very chill. He doesn't get upset about things. He's like, and he jokes, right? Like all of his life, he joked, and he would never say a straight word. He was always saying something out of the corner of his mouth. And most of it was designed to upset me. Anyway, so check on Desmond Gaming in case I put any videos over there. I don't know what happened. I guess when he comes here and gets my phone, he changes it from Nancy Today channel to Desmond Gaming channel. Yeah, I was responding on calling Desmond Gaming. Bear thought someone was here. He picked up his head to look at the doorway. Bear, you're such a good dog. Are you lying down? You lie down. Yes, you lie down. You can wag your tail. Yes, that's nice. Nice doggy. It's getting dark out here. I can barely be seen. Can't see any of you at all. Are you in there anywhere? So I've been cooking every day. Cooking. Yes, I even made brown rice. And I've been making instant pot meals and some stir fries, but I haven't been spicing them up properly. I've been kind of a mess at it. But it's good for me to cook. It's good to have somebody to cook for. Somebody that is interested in and wanting to be fed. Willem, he's happy anyway. He just goes and finds himself something, and we're both wandering around doing our things. But it's really cool to set the table and have everybody sit at the table. Abraham was just wandering because I wasn't cooking. He was wandering and eating all the chips in the house and everything you could find that was junk foodish for the kids. And so I told him yesterday, 2,000 calories. This that you're eating there has got 500 in 1 cup, or 1,000 in a cup if he's taking the peanuts. And you can only have this. And so he's been up there doing push-ups and eating my vegetable meals too. It's wonderful to have our children. I know. It's so good to have our children home. They make life so interesting. I don't know. I loved watching the Waltons. Ah, yes. Lori McFarlane, how are you? It's been a long time. Yes, the Waltons. Little House on the Prairie, but I was getting kind of old by then. And Sesame Street. I think Sesame Street was a great show. I haven't heard of it being around in years. I gotta go because it's getting dark here. So your last one is fun. Oh, he's leaving. No, you'll be alone. No, being alone. Well, I guess you get used to it. But man, after Mary died, I mean, I've still got Willem. I mean, I'm not alone. And yet I felt so alone because he's always on his computer with his chess and his math and his Spanish, and he was doing Norwegian. I guess he's got to do it for genealogy. He's got to figure out words in there. But anyway, so he's in his own world, and he'll talk to me if I ask him stuff. But it's he's not really he's not exciting and interesting. Daniel, however, Daniel.